Hi, this is Susie Cheel, and today I'm talking with my soul sister, Yantra Linden, and we are going to share her story of how she came to join CashFX and her experience from that. The interesting thing is we are both artists and we both work in the spiritual world. Welcome, Yantra.
Thank you so much, Susie. So good to be here having this interview with you.
So, Yantra and I have done many different things together from when we first met in the journey, other spiritual worlds and other businesses. But last year, I was introduced to CashFX by a friend of mine, Manda, and Yantra always likes to know what we're doing. So I had just, I just started with the business. I didn't do much with it. And then I thought, I had joined so that I could support my spiritual world and my art. And I mentioned this to Yantra and she looked at it, and I'll let her continue her story.
Yes, thanks, Susie. So I want to be clear about something first, is that I wasn't looking for a business. I was looking for something really to do with our finances. And I put a prayer out also at the end of last year. And the prayer was to be really clear and aligned in my finances while doing what I love. And I love that you share this about us being artists and the work that we do. You know, I'm an artist, an author, a spiritual teacher. I run retreats and see clients, and I love what I do. And I didn't want another business, so to speak. I wanted alignment in my finances. And so when Susie shared, when you shared this with me, there was something about it that made me want to have more of a look. And I said to my husband, I have this small amount of money tucked away in an account. And I had a look at it, and it had been sitting there for 4 years and earned $13 in interest over 4 years. And I said to him, you know, I think I'm going to take half of that money and use that with CashFX. And I want to share, as I did with you earlier today, and I'm happy to share this with others, that small amount of money and what it was for and why it was tucked away for those years is that we wanted to put my son who died, his ashes, my mum's ashes and my dad's ashes, and move them together, their headstones together in the cemetery. And it's quite a big amount of money to do that. And so we just tucked that away. So it felt like a little bit of a deal to take that money out, half of that money out. But I haven't looked back. Do you want me to share?
Share your experience with
I will. So it takes a few days to set up the trading account with CashFX. And for those people who don't know what that even is, it's a trading platform, trading Forex. And Forex is foreign exchange. And I did not know what the term Forex was, so I had to also find out what that meant. And I started at the lowest package, the $300 trading package. And in the first week of trading, it was $8 I made that week. Now, I shared this with my husband, with Richard, and he said, well, $8 doesn't really do it for me. But for me, it did, because you have to understand, 4 years only, there was $13 made on half, like double the amount. I only invested half that amount, and I'd already made $8 in 1 week. And then consistently, week after week, $8, $9, $10, $11 on that pack. And then since then, I've been able to upgrade to the next one, and upgrade trade to the next one. Now, I said that I didn't want to do this as business. I still don't do this as a business. What I see is it's so sweet. It's such a sweet vehicle, and it runs in the background of your life while you do what you love, while I do what I love. And so the sweetness is that for me, having a natural conversation with someone, we share about our life. Now, if we don't share about money and finances and things like that, of course, this doesn't get shared. Often, though, when I am sharing with someone, they're sharing deeply with me about their life, what they're doing. We share about what we're passionate about. We share our work, and this is what comes up. And the sweetness is that it's so simple. They also don't have to change what they're doing. They also don't have to suddenly run and learn about a new business model. They're just having this increase in their finances running in the background. And so then the business kind of takes care of itself. So
That's
that
right.
gives you a bit of an idea of why I love it and why I use that term. It's such a sweet business.
I remember when Yantra first said that, and sort of, Des feels that we were in a similar position of wanting to improve our finances, and he feels, the money angels sort of came to visit, and and then that prayer has well and truly been answered, which yeah. And I think the other thing I'm really enjoying is we're attracting like-minded people, and there's a lot of heart-centeredness within this sort of community that we belong to now. I have met beautiful people. And the other thing I think that's beautiful is the leaders of this company are also very spiritual, are creating this like a social wealth movement to, and the way that the business came to them was it was downloaded. So for anybody who's in that sort of spiritual space, you think, oh, can't do this and money. Well, my mentor in this business has been in the spiritual and higher consciousness world for 40 years. So that's, for me, it's just, I feel like I've come home, but it's also a way that most of you know, I have my own deck of oracle cards and I work with that. And I also would like to have more time to go back to doing textile art and stitching and things, which at the moment I don't have that time. So this was another way for me to improve our financial situation, because I do work with Des. We do this business, we do it individually, but we actually do work together with it. And we're loving helping so many other people like Yantra's doing. Yantra's bringing in, sharing this with her spiritual world and other people who, what I say is, want to make a difference in the world.
It's so beautiful because, people listening in, Susie, will hear that you're so passionate about this and you and Des are sharing it as a business. Yes. And for me, I'm not sharing business. I'm sharing it as this beautiful, sweet vehicle that runs in the background. And either way you look at it, you're also sharing it in a sweet way. And the business is also taking care of itself for me, as I said. So it's not something that has to be done a certain way. And I think the most beautiful thing for me about it is that you can buy a trade package, you can earn from the trades and the trade package, and you never have to share it with anyone.
No, I think that's really important.
Yes. So that's what happened for me. I had no intention of sharing it. What happens and why you use the word sweetness is because you're seeing the trades come in, and you're seeing the trades come in, and you're seeing the money accruing in the background while you're doing what you do and what you love. And then the sweetness is that you just share it in ordinary conversation.
That's right. And that's what you've done. You might be having a cup of coffee or something.
I also love what you share about, and I've mentioned this as well to others, about social renewal, where we live in a system where we do need money and finances to buy our, we might be able to grow some of our food, but we still need money and finances for food, for bills, electricity, for our shelter, our homes, whether we're, purchasing them or renting. And so we live in this society where there is money in changing hands, but the way it's set up doesn't really support every individual to be able to have enough to thrive. And usually we find that many online businesses, you have to do them as a business in order to make any kind of money. You have to share, and you have to keep promoting, buying endless products or services. And that's what I love about this, is that you don't have to do, first of all, you don't have to share. You purchase your own trade pack and you earn money from your trades. Now, that could be the end of it. For me, what's happened, the sweetness is that I've shared it just here and there, and those people are being touched by that. Now, why I use the term social renewal is because all around the world there are people that really don't have access even to the money that we have access to. And they can join together as a family or a group and buy one package, and that can support their whole community moving forward. So it really is a different way forward, because they can't have, buy endless products and I can't even think, because my mind isn't even going down that track.
Some of them don't even have bank accounts.
They don't have bank accounts.
And one of the things with Edwin and Wasper is, this was set up particularly to help the Latino community.
Yes.
Where he just has they have this wish for people to have financial security around the world. And it's like in some African countries, people have pulled together.
Yes.
And it reminds me of how I've always been a supporter of Kiva, and that how you give people a little bit, they loan some money and things like that, and it benefits their family and the community. And what we can be doing with this is we secure our own financial freedom, which then allows us to have more abundance, but it also allows us to have the tools and the money to have more impact on the areas of life that we want to help other people to grow in as well. And for some people it's beautiful. Children, for some people it's maybe water projects, for other people it might be helping more people with microfinance. Some people would like to fund arts projects and that. And there are people here building this business that is helping orphanages and things, which I just think is, gives me goosebumps.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Beautiful. And I want to add that also might be personal. It might be that, in the case of my husband, he's working still, and he's just turned 60, and I know you and Des are, in another age bracket again. And so there's been this sense of, well, how do we finalize our mortgage? How do we move ahead? What happens as we're moving into, and I'm not speaking about retirement as in leaving what I love, thing that you don't retire from because you're so passionate and you love it. That's how I feel. I know you do as well. For my husband, though, to be in that age bracket of of having that in the background about retirement. And what's happened for him is there's been a settling in his physical body, because he also knows this is running in the background, earning money in the background. So he's working and doing what he does. I work and do what I do. This is running in the background. And again, that word sweetness, that it's almost like the retirement fund is going on its own. That's very,
and I think that's
beautiful.
really, yeah. And I mean, Des and I have this thing that we'll probably never retire, but there, after the pandemic last year, there are a lot more people in, you know, both our age brackets who don't have funds if they do want to retire.
Yeah.
And this is, as you say, a sweet way to do it. And what we're doing now, yes, we are doing it as a business, but I'm doing more just sharing through friends, talking and things like that as well. And it feels so different to, as you say, other businesses that we've been together in. And the other thing, I love the fact that I don't have to pay anything out every month to be part of something.
Yes. Yeah, it's not
really
an on,
important.
that's the thing, it's not an ongoing outlay.
You have one outlay unless you want to put more in. And the other thing with it is, as Yantra said, you know, first week, $8. All this is, you don't have to learn to trade. You can if you want to. There's a brilliant academy there to do that with. But it is automated. And we have six, I think it is, streams of passive income if we choose to share it. And I mean, I've always had that dream of.
Say something about that as well. So there have been times where I've actually said to you, Susie, oh, money's come in. I don't even know what that's for. So I haven't shared it with very many people at all, because it's just this sweet. If it wants to be shared, it does. And, you know, there's no kind of pressure anywhere to do that. And so it's like these extra amounts that you see coming in and coming in. I go, oh, that's such a surprise. And it's very beautiful that happens, and that happens for everybody as well. So
that's right. That's if you live in Australia, every Sunday and you open your email or you go into your dashboard, you see, wow, I've made money this week and I've been paid. And if I want to, I can take it out, or I can use it like as a savings account to grow my business as well. So, and I think that's the thing. I mean, somebody the other day said, "Oh, I've got some money." It's sort of like they put the 300 in, but they didn't realise. Oh, they get a certain, you know. I think theirs had built up to 60, and somebody else said the other day, I want to, you know, go up. We were talking before about the contracts. We start with 3 and then the next one is 5. And this week, somebody who started with us after Yantra and that, but she just upgraded, and that's all she's done. She just put a 300 in, and now I think she's getting ready. Oh, I can see this. I want to share this with people. And
so
I
that's
think
something
that's
that
what happens.
Something we didn't speak about there is what that means, what that is. You're just choosing at whatever level that you might like to buy a contract, a trading contract, and the company guarantees to double it. The time frame is dependent on the trades themselves, the market, but regardless of the contract, the amount of the contract or the amount of return, it's roughly 5 cents a week, 10% a day for the 5 days of trading. And for those of you who are aware of the banking situation that we're all facing at the moment, it's something like 1% a year, possibly 2, but 1% a year. This is 1% a day. And so for me, you can see why I took the money out of the bank. And it's like it's not putting it in another bank, but in a way, it's like putting it in another banking that's growing. So it's very sweet very exciting, and I don't have to give it really any time or attention. And it's beautiful that you and I are speaking like this, that people can have this different view, that it could be done as a business, or it could be just something that goes on in the background of your life, like it does for me. So
That's right.
really beautiful.
Yeah, you have a choice. And it's like, you have a choice too. You think, well, yes, you have a choice whether you join with us or you think, oh, no. And a lot of people think, oh, Susie, can't, too good to be. A lot of people do think it's too good to be true. But for me, it's something that I've always wanted to make a difference. And I believe the work I do makes a difference in people's lives. But now I can show people something that can change their financial future and change your money story. Some of us have to change our money stories as well when we come to do this sort of work. So,
yes, and that's where for both of us, that deep prayer, that deep intent to, for me, it's really to have God take care of this.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I love about the founders of the business, and especially Huascar, is when you said, you used the words, it was downloaded to him. I've heard him share, though, it was in a way like a gift from God. He had no intention of setting this up. He's already a successful businessman in his own right.
That's right. He said on something the other day, he didn't need this. If he didn't have this, he'd get more sleep.
Yeah, he doesn't need it as a vehicle for himself. He feels that God put this in his own heart to be able to support others. And it's just a beautiful new way forward. And of course there are men who are interested in this as well, and yet for me, you and I are women, we both have partners, husbands of course as well, but for women, as we get older especially, there is that faces us, how do we have enough to thrive in our finances? And when can our man, our partner, our husband, when can they stop being the main provider? Or do we have to fully step up and then be the provider? And so what this has done for us is we're still doing what we love, and the providing, it's not us then that has to be the provider, not either of us. It's, for me, that God's grace is providing through this beautiful trading vehicle. So what I would say, and I'm sure Susie would say as well, if you're listening to us have this conversation, if something resonates with you and you just want to learn a little bit more, reach out to Susie, reach out to me, ask us some questions.
That's right.
That's all.
Yeah. And it's something I admire Yantra when she started. She did all her due diligence. She kept asking me all these questions and whatever else. So we have the answers to all the questions now, or most of them, that somebody might say, oh, I thought, okay, so look at this. If we can do it, you can too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you,
darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. It was beautiful. Yes. And we'll, as we progress forward, we will share at another time a story of where we're going with this and what we've been able to